Welcome back to the Your Invisible Advantage podcast. It's me, T. I'm your host, and today I have an amazing guest with me who I have known for many years on social media, and we're finally meeting for the first time today, which it feels like we've already met each other. But welcome, Christina Harvey. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Actually, when you walked in, I was like, have we met physically?
Because I was thinking that.
Sure we had, but we haven't.
I was thinking that, and I'm like, have we actually met? Like, I'm pretty sure we haven't.
And then I was like, we have.
I'm like, maybe we have.
It's so weird.
I don't think we have, just for the record.
It's like, great to meet.
Yeah, good to meet
so
you.
Weird.
Love that. Okay, so firstly, I always tell all of my guests I could introduce you, but I'm going to butcher it. So I'm going to let you do the job that you were meant to do, which is introduce yourself.
Okay.
So can you tell the audience, if they have no clue who you are, highly unlikely, what would they need to know about you?
Okay. It's so funny because I never know how to answer this because it's like, how long do we have here? Because I don't even know myself half the time, you know. But basically, I've just turned 30, so I feel like
You're a whole new woman.
I'm a whole new woman. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fresh. I am originally from South Australia. I moved up to Queensland with my husband almost 2 years ago now. Yeah, it feels like forever.
Some time ago.
It feels like a lifetime.
I remember actually when you moved. I think maybe 2024.
2024,
roughly?
like May-ish.
Yeah.
And so basically,
is that weird that I know that?
No, it's all over social media.
I just remember the time of like the industry and things like that happening. So like,
no. And socials is so funny like that because we've all got timestamps, don't we?
So
like we all know everything.
Pull up your page and figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. So long story short, I currently am a content creator part-time. I work part-time as an assistant for Jackson, who runs this
podcast.
setup.
Thank you, Jackson.
Yeah, shout out. I'm a wife. I love being at home. I love taking care of my husband. I'm very ambitious, but equally I'm a very nurturing person. So I feel like I'm just in an era now of finding my feet in doing it all and feeling really fulfilled in doing it all, but knowing like who I am in where I want to be in like the content space, career, life, wife, all the things. So yeah, that's kind of who I am. I have a background in psychology, so I've always been obsessed with humans and the mind. And I think now the way in which I like to be online is really through the lens of wanting to impact people from a quality of life perspective and like them realizing their potential and not just being another like influencer in the sense of influencing you to buy this cup or buy that lipstick. Like I want to influence people to just live a really great life. So that's like really my goal with my platforms. And yeah, I have a really cool job on the side of that. I have so many opportunities with that and couldn't be happier, honestly. Like
I love this. And this is so different to where you were a few years ago, right? So if we like rewind it back, something I really wanted to talk to you about. So this series that I'm doing is called Conversations with Success. So it's like, obviously you're a successful person. You've had a lot of success in your life, and whatever that looks like to you, maybe that is being the stay-at-home wife. Maybe that is being, a content creator. Maybe it is making money. Like it's different things to different people. And I feel like for you you used to be a coach, right? Mm-hmm. So you have pivoted so much. And what I wanted to really talk to you today is about obviously personal branding content. I think that could be really valuable for our audiences who are like seeking to get into that. But also I think for you, what really stands out to me, and it's so funny because every guest has had this thing happen, but it's like there's a pivotal moment where you either stay with something that's like working and it's like, okay, I could stay here, but I know this isn't it. And then you pivot. And it's fucking scary as shit. And then you come out better on the other side, but there's that void you have to go through. Mm-hmm. So what I'm talking about with that is like you were a coach, you were successful. Everything was, quote, fine. Like it looked good on paper, but there was something like missing for you. I'm assuming. I actually don't know, but I'm assuming. So like talk to me about that, what you were doing in coaching, and then like what was the moment, if you feel like you want to talk about it, like what was the moment that you felt like, actually, I don't think this is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah, of course. So I'll give a bit of a backstory to it without like too much context because we don't need all of it.
You do what you want.
Yeah. So basically from when I finished uni, I studied psychology, as I said. And then I remember getting that piece of paper and just being like, I'm not meant to like work for someone or like lead a traditional path in the career sense. So I really went on a massive self-discovery journey after that. Like I never went into the workforce. I just worked at cafes to make money, to go travel for months by myself, come home. And so I feel like that's really where the coaching element of it all started for me, even though it was 4 or 5 years before I got into it. It was the understanding of how much potential you open yourself up to, you open yourself up to your own potential, when you actually embark on like self-discovery and self-growth rather than just like doing what is required or you think is required of you from like a societal standpoint, which I'll never say right or wrong because like for some reason people that's perfect.
Yeah, for some people that's perfect.
For me it just wasn't.
Yeah.
So I think I just learned so much about myself and life so quickly as a result of being that way inclined. So naturally that evolved into like a meal prep business, into a protein ball business.
Oh, that's right.
I did like so many things. Yeah. Because I was just like, I'm just working for myself. So I'll figure this out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just do this thing. Yeah. And I'm very grateful to have had Cruz through all of that because he was getting it done for us. So I was like, I'm going to start this business. And it's like, okay. Like,
you do you.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I'll just go to work. So I was always on that path. And I think as a result of that, I got really passionate about sharing things online. So it's like my mindset, you just like thoughts, opinions, feelings, what I was up to kind of thing. And then I remember people would just always message me saying like, I would love to like learn from you. I'd love to be coached by you. And I just never knew that was a thing. Like I didn't know there was like a coaching industry, and there definitely was one, but I didn't.
But you had no idea. That was like
no,
me.
Yeah, no idea about it. And I remember it's the start of 2021, I believe, or two, either or. Not too good with the timelines, but I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do this like class, like this masterclass thing that could talk about like journaling or manifestation, like whatever it was that I was talking about. And I had like hundreds of people. Yeah, like I'll run it. Yeah. So probably like 6 months before that, I invested in my first coach, India, but she was like the only person I knew in the space. And it was like full manifestation, just like I'm very spiritual. And it was just, for me, it was like God sent.
This is it for me.
I was like, this is it. This is amazing. And then I was like, maybe I could do this thing. Like I could maybe chat to people. So anyway, I released this class and like hundreds of people joined it. And I was just like, what? Like, and I've never been someone who came from like a lot of money and like all this stuff just started happening. And I was like, what the hell? Like, this is crazy, but it feels so fun because it's just so like, it feels so impactful and purposeful, and it wasn't for outcome. It was for genuine service of others. Yeah. And I felt incredible in that. And then there was a point where I opened myself up to the industry, and then I guess kind of went down a path progressively of losing my own sovereignty in that and like my actual purpose in that, and really just started to conform to, okay, well, I guess we do this because this person told me. And like a lot of mentors, which I took so much from, but equally I led myself astray because I pedestaled a lot of people. And I think that just progressively over the years then led me to a point of waking up one day being like, I really do not like this. Like I love the people that I'm serving, but I do not like the feeling of it. I don't like the creation of it. I don't like the like, I couldn't see myself doing it for a long period of time. And I just started thinking, this is not what it's meant to feel like. And it was the start of 2024. I went to a girlfriend's house over my birthday time, and there was 3 of us there, and we all were in the industry. And I was like, we all kind of hate this, don't we? Hey, and like, and they were like, no,
that's not normal.
I was like, wait, like, what? Like, so like when you're like writing up like course curriculum, like you're not like hating it, or like, and like when it comes to like posting online, like you don't like hate what you're saying, and like they were just like,
so funny.
No. I was just like,
you're on your own there.
Okay. And that made me go, interesting.
Eye-opening moment.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. So that whole year was like, I slowly went, okay, I don't believe I'm not meant to be doing this, but I believe I'm meant to be like evolving the way that I'm doing it, or almost like, I don't know, finding out like a bit of a different path, but no idea what that was going to look like. So slowly I started to like transition my content. So I would still like post the same messages, but rather than a static post, it would be like me walking at the beach, or it would be like a day in the life, and then like all this stuff. And over the year, I then obviously moved to Queensland, met all of my now best friends who are all in the influencer space. And that really showed me like that is what I wanted, which when I'm honest with myself, it's what I always wanted.
Yeah,
but
it's what you were doing before.
But what I was,
yeah.
Yeah, and I made it so wrong.
You had a side quest.
Yeah, I had a side quest. I was like, this is so random. And yeah, it was exactly that. And I remember like being told you can't do both. So I was like, okay, I won't do that then.
Yeah.
Like, so I was very much just like gave my power away for so long. Anyway, and then being around those conversations more, it made me go, this is it. But now this is so uncomfortable because you've built your full identity around like this way of being for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And so it's not 50% in while I figure this out. Like it has to be 100% out,
Yeah.
100% into a whole new chapter, which for me looked like going from almost 4 years of self-employment to then getting a job, which I was like, this is foreign. But I knew it. Like I was like, this in my core, I was like, this is so uncomfortable, but I need to do this, in the knowing that it was going to be my transition period. Like it wasn't my end game, but I was like, if to get up to where I want to be without even knowing what that looks like, I need to do this thing. And it was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
What was it like going, because like if we look at how people online would see it, right? I don't see it this way, but we know that people would see it this way. That would be an ego hit to be like, I've built all this success and now I'm going to work for someone else.
Yeah.
Right? Like that mentality, we think it's wrong or bad, which it's absolutely not. But like, how did you internally handle that or deal with that?
Yeah.
Or did that even come up for you? It might not even come up.
Oh, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought it would, but I was like, maybe I projected that.
Yeah, no. And I think this is such a good question, because I know how many people would be living such an incredible life if they let themselves like take that hit.
That's why I'm like, that's what I want to talk to you about, because it's like that pullback.
You have to. Okay, so I remember Riley, my friend, God bless that woman, because we had this conversation for about 7 months straight, and I was like, I think I should do it. And she's like, you need to do it. And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, guys, my course is out. Like, I just was like,
I hate
not
this.
ready.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and because you'd have a good day and you're like, I'm back. And then
you have like a good client and you're like, I fucking love that client. Yeah.
And it's like, no, Christina, you hate this. So, and then it got to the point of like, no, it's happening, because the only way it's going to happen is if you source financial stability external of yourself doing it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like, well, got to keep going, got to keep doing it. And I did have my protein ball business again at this time, because I went from
right. I remember you brought that back.
So I was like,
it's all coming back to me now.
It was honestly like dire straits.
Is it so weird that like I can see your stories in my head?
No.
I'm like, oh yeah, she posted that.
Yeah, anyone that does not know me would be like, you are chronic. Like, you are so chaotic. But it's like, because I thought, okay, well, what's the next thing? I know this is successful. I know these balls are like the tea. Like, people are obsessed with them. I'll do that. And it was amazing. But then it's like, all right, you're making 400 balls.
I even had some.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thanks for the support.
Like, that's my brain. I'm like literally like all over the place.
I want to try them. But yeah, like I was like, okay, cool. You're making 300 or 400 balls a week to profit $100. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, by the time you look at your time and stuff, and I thought, this cannot be it. Like, it's not it. So anyway, got a job. But I remember at the start, I had so much head noise, and I was almost like, God, like maybe I can just still online act like I'm not doing this, and like just share other things and just share my life, but like not really outwardly say it. But I just knew, I was like, for as long as you do that, Christina, like you are limiting yourself so incredibly much. And so what I did was I sat my butt down and I filmed a YouTube video, and I was just like, hey, this is what's happening. I spoke all about how on paper, like things looked good, things looked groovy, but mentally I was like suffering, so unfulfilled. I had a lot of time freedom, but I did not have freedom internally or peacefully, because I was just so like not aligned with where I was and like what I was doing. And so I just opened up about that on YouTube, and I just said, I'm getting a 9 to 5. This is what that's going to look like. I really want to take content seriously. And I did that selfishly, because I was like, I know that I need to say this for me to actually be able to fully embrace this new journey. And it's like the second that I did that, things just started to pop off for me, because it's like, of course.
Isn't it wild where like our identities do get so attached to one way of creating content, and then it's like, if we want to switch, it's like we feel like that's so interesting, like, because I've had this with myself, with clients, the same thing, where it's like we feel like we need to have that line in the sand of like, hey guys, I'm going to create content this way now, like, and we have to like tell people, but it's because we get so wrapped up in like, I can do it this way, oh, this is what people expect of me, and then it's like that. I find that so interesting as humans how we do that, but it's like, yeah, that line in the sand moment for you. So that was like a game changer for you.
Game changer. Because, and I'm so big on this. Say, for example, you're public speaking, right, random, but you're like, okay, if I just tell everyone I'm a bit nervous, oh, good.
Yeah.
Because then they know that I know that I know what they're thinking. Because she's nervous while I said it. You know?
Yeah.
So I really think like if you can just own.
It takes that power back.
Fully. Yeah. Like if you could, if today I'm like feeling a bit sick, that's why I sound this way, guys. Just so you know.
I'm like sitting over here like quietly dying and coughing, but like,
you know, I just fully am so big on if you just say it, then you've said it. So no one else can like make an assumption, which again, that's going to happen in life, but we're just so fearful of that as humans and being misunderstood, but it's going to happen regardless. And also I think we know this about, especially being online, when you're vulnerable with what it is that you're navigating, or you're just honest, not even necessarily vulnerable, but you're like, this is where I'm at actually, the amount of, what's the word, like power that gives to other people as well, who potentially don't have the courage in that moment to own it themselves. Like I can't tell you how many messages I've got over the up until this point of saying like, thank you so much for just doing that, or like showing me that I could actually leave this as well, or change my mind, or do that thing. So selfishly, if I stayed in my own head around what that meant about me, or what someone else thought that meant about me, I'd be fully going against what I want to be for someone else online, which is someone who shows you that you can just do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like it's so important because it's like, when we own it, like no one else can ever own that over us, right? Like when you actually just say the thing, then no one can hold that against you. It's like, it's so freaking powerful to be able to do that. So then when you made that decision online, what did it then look like for you? Obviously you were getting like flooded with people saying, oh my God, thank you so much. Were you like almost validated in like, oh shit, like I was willing to almost like sit in all this silence and not have it, but then you got it and you were like, oh fuck, I should have done this the entire time.
100%. And it's always the way. It's like as soon as you do the scary thing, you're like, whoa, I'm like so fun. Yeah. And that was amazing. And I'm so proud of myself. And then that just builds. But then at the same time, I still had so much to move through myself in that path, because I don't know if you experience this, like still being very much in the space, but I personally attach so much to my social media of I can only share something that is of value to someone else.
Yeah.
Which everything is inherently of value to someone else in some way. But for me, it was like I couldn't just post podcast recording. It would be podcast recording, because it is so important to put yourself out of your comfort zone. Like there'd always be like a thing. And I had to work through, give no substance.
Yeah.
Do not give context. If you want to say something, you put it up. If you want to show your outfit today, you put it up, because I'd spent 3 years being a service provider.
Yeah.
Versus a person.
Be like, oh, be professional, be a business. Like
Fully.
People won't hire you.
Fully. And it was
value.
like, no, we have to. So I had team meeting with myself and I was like, all right, the second you want to post something, it is going on the internet. I don't give a fuck what it is. So it's like, if it's your outfit, if it's your recipe that day, if it's your gym session, and like going back to my roots.
I remember you said that to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I that's what I told everyone. I'm like, just say, give yourself, and like you don't have to attach forever to it. But if you go, all right, for the next month, I'm doing this, and if at the end of it I hate it, I'll stop.
Yeah.
But you won't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you'll find the freedom in it of just being able. I think like people get really caught up in that on social media, where it's like, regardless of if you're a service provider or not, like obviously everyone's building personal brands differently, but I do think that so many people think they always have to be posting something to do with their business or their offer or their service or their product or, you know, useful to other people. But it's like, you actually just being human is so useful to someone else.
More than anything.
Like, why do you think they're called comfort creators? It's because we literally want to spend time out of our real life to watch their life. Like, because 100%. Something about just watching a human. That's why we like reality TV show. Like, we don't need to be like shoved down our throat, like, buy my offer 24/7, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I love that. So, all right, timeline, you're now doing what you want to be doing. You're working a 9-to-5 job. And then you realize the 9-to-5 job is maybe not it, and you go work for JT. How did all that come about?
So I really, to anyone listening, side note on that, right? If you're in a position where you're like, I'm in such a middle ground of I hate what I'm doing or I don't like it, it's not for me, but I don't know where I want to go, like get the middle ground thing, knowing that it's the middle ground thing. So that's like for the 9-to-5. I never went into that being like, this is going to be my job.
This is my forever.
I was like, hell no, but this is what I need to figure that out, right? So that job started it was like October, but then I got COVID and then I was like, went to Adelaide, so I didn't start till like end of November. So I was like, quite random. Yeah, I was like, holidays. And I went into that role very open with my manager. She was incredible. Like, I just said to her, like, you know, this is kind of what I want to be doing, like my socials. I've got my protein ball business, but I do want to be here and a part of a team. I'd worked at Good Life before, so I knew sales. I know people. I know human psychology. I know how to sell to someone. So I was really like not so good at the job. I was good at the job because I know people, right? So
I'm the best.
I was like, so hire me. So anyway, I was really fulfilled in it because when you're like, feel like you're accomplishing things, I wasn't going into work dragging my feet. Like, I loved being there and around other people, being around good people. But that was one thing for me that opened up my creativity so much, because I had less time in my brain on my own. And that's what I had for the last 3 years of like it being in this echo chamber of myself. And so
so it was better for you when you had less
time.
Yeah.
My 9 to 5 was life-changing. Like actually the best decision I've ever made for my mental health as well.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that period of time freed up so much for me, because I had less time, but I had to be more efficient with the time that I did have. And I had less time to overthink things, to question things, to make things harder than they needed to be, because, you know what, I go to the gym. So I'm also someone who trains. So that's an hour in the morning, then you go for a walk. So I've got maybe 30 minutes to get something on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not like, is it good enough? Is it not?
And like people sit there all day.
I would.
Every day.
I would if I like didn't have that.
Head,
and I'm like, oh shit. And then you don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then you're spiraling, you don't do anything. That's the whole thing. So that was such a blessing for me. So that's where the social side of things started taking off a bit, because I didn't have time to care.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think get busier, care less.
Get busier. Like everyone's like, what do I create for content? I'm like, go live your life.
Do something.
Like get out of your house.
Yeah. Don't try to create content.
Scrolling social media.
Yeah, 1,000%. So from there, I was there until I believe April, May-ish. Excuse me. And I remember going to mini golf with our friend Cade, Lil, and then Cruz, my husband. And I was just at a point where Good Life wage is so low. Like it is so low, but you make money on commission.
Yeah.
So, but even then I was like, okay, my weekly take home was like very, very low. So I was like, surely there is a way for me to make this same amount of money working less, but having more freedom in the work that I'm doing. And Cade is like he's got a lot of connections. And so we were like, hey, do you know anyone that needs like any kind of part-time work, whether it's like VA, whatever, all the things. And he was like, let me have a think, I'll get back to you. The next day I saw someone on Instagram share a story being like, I'm looking for a full-time videographer. Our friend Jackson obviously is a videographer. I sent that through to him. It was a massive client. He and Cade caught up that morning as well. Cade asked him if he wanted help. Jackson said, yep, I'm ready for help. I'm going to offer it to Christina. I'm going to cover her Good Life wage. Obviously them being like kings. Like I feel so blessed to be taken care of by my husband, but also by our friends. Like the group is just so incredible. And they were like, we're going to get her out of there. Let's give her this job. And that was it. And it's like 2 days later I'd resigned. And I was like, I wasn't even going to go to mini golf that night.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, we don't ask the
like
question.
Yeah.
We go, oh, I better not. Like, oh, it's all good. Like if I didn't ask that question, I can't even imagine.
I love that stuff. And like it brings it back to like the manifesting spirituality. It's like truly if you're not putting yourself in the situations, it won't happen for you.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's even like posting the content. Like people want, let's say brand deals or, you know, they want to actually grow their account, but they don't even post the content.
At all,
it's
yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You got to put yourself in the game.
You have to,
So
yeah.
it's like, I love that, like where it wasn't like meant to happen, but it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it all happened perfectly.
Yeah. And even at my job, like, of course, you know, every boss is going to be different, but mine was the GOAT. So I just said to her, this is what I want to do. And so when a brand deal or like a brand event came up and an opportunity came up, I'd be like, I want to still be able to go to these things. So she would give me days off and she would like really support my progression outside of my Good Life career because she knew that was what was important to me. And I think that was a big contributing factor to me actually being in a position to be able to go out and do, you know, part-time of everything, was because I was honest with her as well, saying like, I want to be doing these things. So when the opportunity comes up, I like want to be able to do them alongside this role. And I think a lot of people don't even ask that question or even set that because they're like, oh, it's going to be a no anyway. And it's like, it might be, but in my case it wasn't. And then it gave me the best of every world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. And then like, you're so right. Like everyone would just avoid it because they'd be like, oh, I can't because they'll want me to just work. But people are so willing to help.
Fully.
Like if you actually just ask a question, people are so willing. Even with my podcast, like the people that I've asked to come on, I'm like expecting to get no's, but I'm like, I'm going to ask anyway. And then people have said yes. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God, what the fuck? Like, and I wouldn't be here without that, you know, like even asking you, I'm like, she could say no, but like,
as if,
why don't I just ask her, you know? So I love that so much. So if someone, we were saying it before, like if someone was in the position and they were feeling really scared to make a decision, and it's not like, oh, you're a coach and you want to leave coaching. It's not that. Like maybe you're a 9-to-5 job and you want to start posting content. Maybe you're posting content, but you want to start reaching out to brands. Maybe like, I don't know, there's so many different things it could be. Maybe there's a friendship group that you want to like, I don't know, ask some people to hang out with you, whatever. Like, what would you say to those people who are sitting in that moment of like, should I take the risk? It's like, because you took a big risk, like shutting something down that was super successful. Everything looked good on paper. Like, what would you say to that person in that situation?
I would say you're probably already living the worst case scenario.
Literally.
Because the thing is, like, you could take the risk and it not work, and then you're just back where you were right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, so you could either like take the risk and come back, or you could just stay here.
That's so funny. I always say to people if they're complaining about like, oh, you know, if I post and let's just say their views aren't there, whatever. And I'm like, so what's the worst case scenario? If you sell or post or do the thing, you can't not win harder than you're not already winning. Like,
you're already losing.
So like, why would you not put yourself in a position to win? Like, you're literally already losing by staying there. I did a story on this last night where I was like, you know, the day event and things like that I'm doing, like I have an event tomorrow, these podcasts, I didn't ask anyone if I could do that. I wasn't like, do I need permission? Like, is it going to be okay? I'm like, worst case scenario, I'd be working at Blockbuster right now.
Do what you need to do.
Like, bitch, I took a fucking leap and I was like, what if I just try something? What if I do it? And if it doesn't work out, like, I think you just have to have so much, like, it's not even self-belief. It's like self-trust of just be like, you'll be okay.
Figure it out.
You've always figured it out up until now.
Yep.
Every hard scenario of your life, you've figured out. So like, why would this be any different? You know? So pivoting, I want to talk about now 30s, because this has been like a big thing that you've been talking about, and I'm 34. So I've been going through this for a few years now, and then I see you talking about it. I'm like, yes, I'm not fucking making this up. Like, this is actually a thing. Cause like I don't have too many people who are like in their 30s and that. So it's like no one really relates. But your values change.
Oh,
it's like you hit 30 and it's all like, almost like, what the fuck did I do with my 20s? I don't want to do that anymore. Like, and you completely shift and change.
Yep.
So talk to us about what happened when you turned 30.
Oh, guys, watch out. You know
like,
what I'm saying? Yeah, watch out. So, like, also just the fact that 29 was the year of the snake, and then 30s, I'm like, I'm also
you fucking went through the transition.
Yeah,
that's weird.
So it's like year of the horse, I'm 1 year, obviously 96. Like, you know, if I'm ever going to slay, it's now.
It's your year.
Yeah. This like, it has to be. It has to be.
Like, I love it.
No, so I would say, again, my boss, she was like so healing for me in this, because she said, Christina, don't worry, 29's fucked. Like, it's just the year where the unraveling begins, I would say, personally. I don't know if you can relate, but it was like probably up until that point, I really started to like see things a bit differently, obviously make decisions career-wise, friendship-wise. I moved hometowns. Like, I did all of these really big, beautiful things. I got married. Like, lots of big things happened in my life. And then there was also a lot of little things that I started shifting my perspectives on, and came deeper into my values and what I, you know, want for life. And then it was really 29 was the year that I realized like all of those things had been happening. And then I was almost just having such an aversion, is that the word, to like anything that wasn't like on a soul level correct for me and my future.
You can't, it's like when I feel like when you hit your 30s, you can't lie about it.
You can't lie about it.
Like, you try, but you're like, I physically, like, I just don't.
Yeah, like you could see my face and be like,
yeah.
Like, why do you look so mad? I'm like, oh, because I just don't think
I
like
actually
you.
am mad.
Yeah, like I really don't think I like you. Like, you just can't pretend.
That's so
you know, and it's so interesting because even my birthday is Jan 24th, and I always feel this way. New Year to Jan 24th is my new year still, because I feel like, you know, you can set intentions, which even this year I haven't really done. Like, I've just felt a much more like relaxed start to the year, but I did somatically, and like even in my body, I felt really down. I felt really like pissed off at things. Like, I was feeling really heightened around things, and just seeing things so clearly with like what I agree with and what I don't. And it was like this 24-day period from New Year to my birthday of just like, yeah, fuck this. Like, if it's not for me, it's just not for me. And not even in a like polarizing way, just more so in, again, coming so deep into like what's important, what's not. And that was a result of years of kind of landing there. But I think it was the final pieces just kind of like falling into place. So then coming into 30, I just really feel as though I have never been more myself, and genuinely myself. Like, not myself because, you know, you need to be this way, or you should be that person, or you should want that thing. But there's like no explaining. There's no, I'm doing this because. There's no, oh, if you think this about me, it's not true. This is actually what's true. It's just like, well, I just do me. I'm doing what I want. I care about what I care about. I care about my future, my family, my husband, you know, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, everything else outside of that, I would say I'm a very caring person, but it's like, I just don't care to perform.
Yeah. I feel like that's exactly what it is. Like in your 20s, you're so focused on like, how do I look a certain way? Like, how do I live my life? You know, how everyone else is living it, what I'm expected to do, how I'm meant to do it with the friends that I think, you know, I should be nice to, or like whatever it is, or like fitting in with groups. Like, can admit that like in the coaching space, I like was like, oh my God, I'm trying to fit in with a group of people I don't even like.
Same.
Like, what am I doing?
I was like, can I be your friend?
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll just pay you then.
Okay. Tea. Yeah. And then, yeah, like you come into your 30s, like I literally had like an awakening moment and I was like, I don't even fucking like these people. What the fuck am I doing?
No.
Like I'm an introvert. I don't want to fucking see you. Like if I want to see you, I will message you. And
You
I'm
were
not
so
messaging you.
like such a permission slip for me in that though. Because like the whole time I would say even in the industry, you never wavered. Even if you felt like you did, I was like never once. I was like, God, she's just so solid.
So like there were like two parts, right? There was one part of me that wanted to fit in so fucking badly because like I'm always like the odd one out. Like I never really fit in. I don't really have like a friend group. I have like random friends, but I don't really have like a friend group. So I'm always like the random one. Like I'm just like, hi. I just like know everyone in the group, but like separately. Yeah. But it's like, I felt like I wanted to fit in, but I knew I didn't want to fit in. Like it's like my soul knew that's not your space. So like even when I was even when we were like in a space together, everyone would be like talking and I was just like, I'm not going to join that conversation. Yeah. But like, not because it was like, oh, they're shit or they're bad. Like it was just like, I just don't feel like it's my space.
Yeah. No, I loved it. And I feel like I felt the same, but I was like, yeah, like cool girls. It was like so chronic. And then that's why I was like, I'm so drawn to you for that reason.
Yeah. So many people have given me that reflection and I'm like, that's so funny because internally I felt like I was like trying to win approval. So it's so interesting that like I must have had my like the rebel part of me must have been like so strong that I still had this like fuck off energy on me.
Yeah,
So like that's so interesting because internally I felt like, why am I like I got to this point where I was like, why am I trying to fit in with people I don't like?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
And if you think about that just in the scheme of life, right? Like the way that you felt and how I maybe perceived you or people saw you and then you felt this way internally, it just goes to show that if you just do what you want to do, feel how you feel in that, people are going to see you how they will anyway.
Literally.
So
no one has any idea.
Yeah, you don't
Even
need
if you tell them, people are still going to make up their own story on top of that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I feel like your 30s is like an energy preservation thing where you're like, I'm just not going to waste energy telling you why I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
You're just going to see that I did it.
Literally. And like I also like have stopped announcing things.
Yes.
And I've stopped like saying things
Yes.
and I'm like, I'm just going to do the thing.
Yeah.
Like
I've coined it the silent slay. Like
I love
30s
it.
is like
So
you're
good.
silently just fucking getting it done.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
like people know.
People know. People will see it.
Yeah.
They'll be sad.
Yeah, they'll be sad.
Something that you also I'm dying needing to like cough right now. So I'm like, can you hear me? I need to like sniff. I need to let's just cough. Collective cough.
And like a drink maybe? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Sorry,
grab a drink.
Jackson.
Grab a drink. Sorry, Jackson. We're both intermission. Okay.
I was like the exact same. Looking at you like twitching my eyes.
Yeah, I was like, I can't keep talking right now. Dying. ASMR.
Yeah, I know. So good.
Okay.
I live for it.
So what I wanted to say, there was something you posted on TikTok, which also super interesting conversation around 30s as well. Yeah, okay, around 30s, but also around just social media, where I had it's like you say the things out loud that I think that I don't say. So like you said something, I think I commented on it and you were like, we're not meant to look at our face this much, like, and we look at our face every single day. And I'm like, that's literally what I've been thinking is like, I don't think we're meant to be so obsessed with ourselves every single day, like looking at our phones, talking to ourselves, like, and I'm like, isn't that so weird? Like, I'm also realizing in my 30s, like, I want to not share less, but like share less. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It makes
where
sense.
it's like, be more controlled with what I'm sharing and more share when I have something to share. Don't share because I have to show up today.
1,000%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that, like when you said that, I was like, yes, I agree. I don't think we're meant to be like so obsessed with ourselves. I think we're meant to be like living our life and then showing and like I guess, like sharing the parts of that we want to, but you don't have to share your whole life on social media.
I'm huge on that. I would say I share openly, but there is so much that I do not share.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I would have thought like, you've got to share it all, you've got to do it all, you've got to.
Yeah, you're out of integrity.
Yeah, what the fuck. And then I'm like, no, like I will share very, very little, and you'll probably think 90%, but 10.
Yeah.
And
that's like not lying. That's like genuinely just like, hey, this is the piece that I find valuable that I'm going to share.
Fully.
And then also I do not need to share XYZ.
Fully. Yeah. And we'll come back to what you like the TikTok and stuff, because I think that's a really cool conversation. But also a lot of the time, what you share online might not be yours to share. So I'm 100%. So massive on that, even when it comes to my family, my husband, our stuff. Like I'm not sharing things just willy-nilly, like because it's mine, because it's actually I might have a part of that story, but it also concerns my husband, it concerns our future, it concerns my family, my mum, my dad. Like they're not posting that on the internet, so I don't get to do that. So and that's why I even love with you and like Jacob, for example. I don't really know much about him, but I know he's a king, but I don't really know much about him.
But that's all I do,
because it's like you're not sharing his life, because he would have his own social media for that if he wanted it.
Literally. And I've always been like that. Like people, you know how they say like bring in characters and that, which like I agree. I think it can be good when you have characters in your brand. But it's like, I also think for me, they aren't choosing to have this life. So why would I do it for them?
Yep.
And there's so many things that I could share to do with the house, to do with like our travel, to do with like investing, to do with, my dad's business working. But like, that's like, it's not mine.
Fully.
And I've always just been like a solo person on my page.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, no, this is my page.
Yep.
Solely based on me. Like I don't get to share other people's. And I really love that. Like obviously to do with your family and that you've opened up about that you're not sharing around all of that. But, you're going through something, and I think that's all you need to say.
Yeah.
Like you don't need or owe anyone anything more.
Yeah, definitely. And it's what feels right for you. And I know like even with my family stuff, like I spoke about it on my YouTube recently, which very like didn't give too much context, but I also want people to have context to like I am navigating my dad being very unwell, and that then makes a lot of the other perspectives that I have online make sense.
Yeah.
So I will never share that side of things because it's not mine, it's his story. Yeah. I'm a part of that story and it's fucking so horrible. But in the same breath, that gives me so much perspective on life. So then when you see 100%. That thing that I said, you've kind of like, oh yeah, and that kind of makes a little bit more sense now.
Yeah.
So I want that connection with my audience. But again, there's a way that you can do it without just sharing things that you just should not be putting on the internet. In my perspective, it's like that's yours. Like that's yours to feel, that's yours to process, that's your family, that's your partner, that's your whatever it is. Like that's not for 27,000 randoms to at the end of the day see.
Yeah. And I think like people get that really twisted because like I say this all the time. I'm like, you guys think you like see everything about our lives, but we're really not showing you. And again, it's not because we're lying. It's just genuinely because we don't have to in order to build a personal brand.
Definitely.
And to feel connected with our audience.
That's the thing. Like,
so if someone, let's just say someone was struggling with that where they were like, oh, I don't know what too much to share is or, whatnot, what would you say to them?
I would say on one hand, you can still really value connection with your audience and like connect with them on a very personal level without sharing every detail of your life.
Yeah.
Because like I want my audience to feel like they could like message me anytime and I love to chat to them and like that is amazing. But it's like having that boundary with yourself of what is sacred, like what makes you feel like kind of sick to the stomach, and it's not that sick feeling of like, I'm just putting myself out there, like I'm posting that selfie, like I feel a bit, but it's like, oh, this is like my deepest trauma, but I feel like I should share it like in the moment kind of way, or
like how do I get that hook to make my trauma sound better?
It's like come on, like that's a whole nother conversation. But it's like maybe I would say look at it from the lens of maybe process it and like go through it, and then if after the fact you feel good to share it in a very empowering way of like I'm sharing this because I want people to know that like you can make it through, or you can like whatever the thing is, like in more of a hindsight type thing. Like I just don't believe we should share in the moment. I think we can share loosely in the moment of like, hey guys, just for a bit of like reality here, I am going through struggle street right now, but I'm still doing this. So you can still talk about it. You don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, you just like passing comment, but then you don't need to go into all the details.
I think that's a good way.
So with that, and we're not going to go into it, but do you think that the things that you're navigating personally came into your decision for the pivot as well, to like just do what you want to do with your life?
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. We literally have one life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to live for how I think I should be perceived anymore or what other people are thinking. Like, I'm going to fucking live for me.
Yeah. And like live for people who can't live for themselves, I think too. And when you navigate like loss and grief, and even I lost my grandpa who was like my guy, like, you know, those people where you're like, I'll never recover from you. Like, you're like, no, not you. Which I'm very grateful that I'm like very connected to something else for that reason, because I do not know how I would like do life otherwise. But I think when those moments happen in your life, you just get so much more like clarity, and like you just give less fucks around proving or fitting in, because you realize like how sacred life is. And I think that kind of ties into the 30s conversation. By 30, life has happened for a lot of people, 100%. You know, and like a lot of fucked things have happened for a lot of people. And I never want to be like, you know, like whiny or whatever, but I think to even like with dad right now, I'm like, oh, this should not be real for him, but it should not be real for us as kids or as me as 30. Like this should be maybe when I'm 50 or 60. Like, and so you just have so much more like understanding for what is important, and then such a low tolerance to what's not. And even with dad, we kind of found out what was happening end of 2022. And I think I never really understood exactly what it would look like future lens wise, but then over the next year it like really started to progress. And then that was kind of when the decision was made to or maybe 2 years, I don't know exactly, but like to go, fuck no, like nah, because if nothing's promised, and then what am I going to do, get to the end of my life, or like have my dad or my grandpa or my mum or whoever go, like if they could look at me, are they going to say she is just like so upset and like she's making decisions to fit into this world that she doesn't even want to be a part of? Like nah, like you owe it to yourself, but also to anyone that you love, to just give less fucks about what someone else thinks about you and what you're doing, and more about in this moment what is right. And is that like you quit your job and you move back home and you're with your family, whatever it is, like you can't care.
Yeah. Do you think that also has something to do with like, I remember you're like, are you fucking stalking me? Yeah, I watch all your shit. So I like literally remember everything. But like, do you, I like have my people, like my comfort creators, you are literally so like just like letting you know that. Like I'm like, I just love what you post.
Thank you.
And it's so funny because like, no offense, but I didn't when you were doing coaching. I didn't watch your content.
No.
Like it wasn't that I didn't like you. I just didn't watch your content.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch my content.
Like, that's like the same as I'm posting. Like, so I'm like, I don't watch mine, I don't watch yours. But like when you started to post more like what you actually wanted, I was like, I'm obsessed with your content. Like that's so interesting.
No, thank you.
But like, so anyway, I remember you saying that you, what did you say? You said something like you're going back to like, I don't know like how you worded it, but back to love and light, or back to like,
yes.
Can you put that into the languaging you said? Because I feel like that is also tying this whole thing together.
Yeah. So my start of my personal development journey was like seeing your power and like manifestation, and just actually aligning your energy with what you want, and just having intentions and being clear on things. And naturally you then wire your brain to seek those things and to progress towards those things. And so opportunities come up, and then life's fucking slaying, and because you did that.
Yeah.
Right. And then I went through the path of everything is a shadow. And like, you know, you are the problem.
Yeah.
And like, even if you've got what you want, you're still the problem. And you should find more problems, because then you can solve those problems and then you can be better. And I was like in 2 years of like, I am the worst person in this world.
Literally.
Like, okay, there's always a problem and I need to fix it, and I am the problem.
And I need to do better, and I need to do this.
I'm a piece of shit, and nothing I do is good enough. And like, I say this to my friend so often, but like I was so in integrity before I knew what the word integrity meant.
I didn't need a word to tell me.
Because I was like, no.
Because you were living in line with your values back then.
Yeah. And like, wait, what's the word? Is it integrity? What was the word that we used to say?
Was it congruent?
Congruent. That was that was the word, not integrity.
It's like PTSD.
No, it wasn't. It was congruent. I said I used to be the most congruent motherfucker with my values until I found out what that word meant. Yeah. And then everything was like, you're being incongruent. I was like, like if you know, you know.
Literally, that's like an inside joke, okay?
And that's what like I was spiraled for 2 years because everything was through this lens of you're not good enough, be better, you've got to see your shit, you've got to go there.
Did you hear how I like stopped drinking V on camera?
No, I stopped drinking any kind of like carbonated
I
drink.
didn't stop drinking it just on camera.
It's so
So I was like, I can't have that on my social media.
I know they can't know. They can't know. Like I know it's like if I watch
had, like,
TV,
a cup that couldn't be see through, so I could pour
Yeah.
it in and pretend I'm drinking water.
yeah. No, what? No,
What are we okay?
no, like that. I often think
So
like
funny.
poor Cruz because he's like, I just want to watch like The Block, and I'm like, it's bad for your subconscious. Like,
Oh, I actually can't. 'Cause it's actually so fucking funny that like it wasn't.
no. People like I was saying out even side before. Side note, guys, sorry, but they're like,
We're
she's
just like on side quests on this thing.
She's like probably going to ask about that era of the coaching industry. I'm like, I think I was in a cult. I think, like,
Can I legally talk about that?
I'm like personally, but you know, it wasn't.
ruin my
But
makeup.
it just was giving like the shit that I've fucking putting all these. Oh my god. Anyway. You know, it was what it was. So, you know, come back to the question. I'm like, all right, going through just like everything, I'm a piece of shit. I've got to figure out my problems. So then things started feeling really crap. And I'm like, wonder why. I must need to find the next thing that's my problem. You know, and then it got to the end when I came out of it and I thought, I think I'm self-aware enough to know when I am the problem.
Yeah.
And also, like, I trust the people in my life to tell me when I'm being the problem. And I think I'm gone back to love and light.
And sometimes you can just be the problem and it can be okay.
And then I'm still going to journal about how slay the day is and, like, you know, what am I getting up to? Because then every journal entry or any kind of self-reflection for me was I'm not good enough, basically, versus what do I want out of my life? How can I make that happen? How am I so capable of that?
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Even if you don't feel enough, let's show yourself that you are. That is what, for me personally, gets me to anything in life. Like not seeing how I'm like the worst person. I need to find the next thing that I'm sabotaging. It's like, you'll figure it out.
Keeps people sorry, I'm like still dying.
No, you're fine.
It keeps people in this like loop as well. Oh, it's like self-deprivation. Oh,
Yeah.
is it deprivation? What's the word?
Deprecation?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something. I should have just
Distraction?
stuck with like an easier word.
No,
there.
sorry about
I
that.
made myself look stupid.
No, you
but,
didn't.
like whatever. So that word, whatever that word is, it makes people like devalue themselves just again and again. And we're in this like cycle. It's like a shame cycle. And then it just like shame spiral of like, well, I don't have this because I'm not this. Well, I don't have this because I haven't done this. And it's like, you actually, like, none of us had any of that before we became successful.
None of it.
And we built the most successful, fucking loyal personal brands. And then when we started learning all of the shit that we had to do to be more successful, all of our brands like went dead. We like lost all connection with our people.
No.
And it's like, I always say to people, I'm like, the worst thing you could do is start to impose rules on yourself when it comes to a personal brand. Even if you are selling, like don't get caught up in all the bullshit of like, you need to shop this way, you need to do this. Like, no, like your magnetic self is like wherever you work, like wherever you're in line with what you're here to do. And like for you, when you said that, like I love that so much because I was like, it doesn't matter like what I think or what I do. Like the fact that you were like, this is my heart. Like this is where, you know, this is what makes me tick. This is what I enjoy. This is what I love. And you can tell ever since then, like you then boomed like again. Not that you never boomed, but like, you know what I mean? Like it like then took off again. And it was like, even that was like magnetic for me. And I was like, oh, well, I want to watch now.
Yeah.
You know?
Fully, yeah.
So it's like so interesting how like we think we need to do something else. But if we actually all stayed in line with like who we were before we learned the rules, then we would actually all be way more successful. Like with
Fully.
our content, personal brand, like what we're here to do. So like, what is your message now with social media?
For my audience?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just like, how do I put in like one sentence? I think it is just given like fuck around and find out in the sense of you just go after it. Like leave the hometown, leave the friendship, quit the job, start the business, cancel the business, change your mind and change your mind over and over and over and over again until you feel solid. And then when you don't, change your mind again. Like I just think always allowing yourself to pivot and just know that no matter what, like we said before, you will always figure it out because you always have and it will always end up better than you could have imagined if you would just play it safe.
And never like sell yourself to an identity. I think like that's where people go wrong is like, and I think that's why, you know, I was like so successful when I first started is because like I didn't even know what that word meant.
No shit.
I had no fucking clue. I was like, I'm just fucking doing shit I love.
Yep.
Like I literally still to this day have no fucking idea what I'm doing. but I'm successful.
Amazing.
It's like you don't need to like know what you're doing. You just need to like follow that aliveness, follow what, I don't know if you like know human design. Or
Yeah, I'm like,
about
I
it.
usually butcher it, but every time I get it read or like told to me or I look it up, I'm like, yes, makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not like massively into it, but I just know my own.
Yeah.
But like there's something, I forget what it is. Maybe someone out there who knows it can tell me, but it's like the way that I don't know what it is, but like my thing is satisfaction. Alex and I were talking about it and her thing is peace. And it's like, that's when you know you're on the right path. So like mine is like when I feel satisfied, I'm like, that's what I'm meant to be doing. Hers is like when she feels peace. I don't know what the thing is.
No, that's
I was hoping you would know, but like you don't. So
yeah,
like,
I would love to know.
Yeah,
I think
like-
that I know, but I don't.
yeah. I only know my own. I never take time to learn other people's. I'm like, you're boring. I just want to know myself.
Yeah. No. I swear my life. I'm the most important person in this room.
I am the queen.
Yeah.
Speaking of, last segment that I want to get into, your partner, Cruz, obviously, King, Slay, we love him. And he shows up on your socials here and there. I'm not going to ask anything about him. But I do want to ask about, I've noticed that you're going more down the traditional, sharing those traditional values on your social media. And I fucking love it. Like, I absolutely love that so much. And obviously, there's so many polarizing opinions around that. So firstly, did that feel scary to start talking about, knowing how many people get so fucking fired up when people talk about that? Because like, I also noticed one of the people, which I also love, Savannah, she's so cool. And I mean, I don't know like everything she says, so I don't know if I like fuck with everything, but I'm just like, I love her vibe. Definitely. Like, I think she's so cool. Yeah. And I know she gets so much fucking hate. So much hate. So did you feel like a bit of like resistance, or you're like, no, fuck this? Like,
Side note, if anyone wants to like come into their opinion, follow Savannah.
Yeah,
not for
for
like
sure.
her opinion, but just she is so, I believe what I believe.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I know
she's
that
good
you
at
don't.
debating because she's like, she's not emotional about
She's
it.
just like, this is what I think.
Yeah.
And that's that.
I think I saw her in a debate, and I think that's why I like really respected her.
Yeah.
So I was like, she didn't make the other person like feel shit. She was just saying, well, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, I feel like a lot of the time people get really emotional when someone has a different belief system or values or things they want for their life. And it's like, why is what I want so attacking to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, she's the goat. But I think that one side to it is that when I just understood that my emotions and reactivity to someone else's reaction will ultimately like make the impact on how I feel.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, no matter what I share, if I share that the sky is green and someone says, oh, it's fucking blue, and now you're a stupid idiot, like whatever.
Yeah.
If I take that on board, I'm going to be upset about it. So I just had to go, no matter what, if I can just manage what I take on board and what I make mean about me versus not, then all good, because you're always going to get that online, especially being someone that wants to grow. Like, it's just going to be a part of it. But I think for myself, so growing up, I just think to my mum, she is the best person in this world. Like, I just think if I could
Shout
be, Anastasia, hope you're listening. You're probably not.
We'll clip it for
I'll send this to you. Okay. But if I could be anyone in my life, like I would want to be my mum.
I love that.
And I think, she doesn't even know how much she impacted us as kids, and like the love in our home. And no matter what, we didn't have necessarily an easy at all path. She had a fucking rough time there as well. But she was just the best mum, and like so much love in our house. We were always taken care of. We always had what we needed. The food was amazing. We always felt it was so warm. Like, and my house would be the house you'd want to go to, like for mum.
You have like a lot of culture too. What's your background?
Greek. Yeah. So, and like, oh God, I could go into it so much, but growing up, mum went back to work when I was kind of like born basically. And so we lived across the road from my yambapu. So they basically had me all the time. And then like I would want to sleep there every night. They were like my best friends, my grandpa, and my grandma. No, sorry. No, we're not all Greek. And so like I lived there, and like when mum would say, you're not going there tonight, I'd just call you, and she'd come to the corner and just watch me run over. I'm like, yeah, I am, mum. Like, and like mum would say the only time that we fought was when you were there, like mum and dad. The only time we fought, because he was like, she's not going over there again. And mum's like, you go tell my mum that. Like, she's a scary Greek Spartan, you know? So, like, I just grew up with so much love in my home. And I, in that, saw a lot of tradition, even around, like, when I was younger, the Greek relatives would come over and I'd be like 7 and he yells like, go get everyone a coffee. And I'm like, okay. Like, and I'd be of service and I'd love it. Like, I was just like, I love it. Like, and back then, the men, if my grandpa or like the uncles or the boys got up to do something, they would get like whipped, right? It was like, sit down. The woman here is we're the leader of the house, like in that way, you know, that. Right? So it's like when you think like a trad role, whatever that people want to make that mean these days, it's like the man's the leader, which I believe Cruz is the leader in our dynamic, but I like feel like also the woman is like the leader of the men in the home in terms of like, I take care of you and like I want to take care of the home and all the things. So I like grew up around that and it wasn't a bad thing. And so like, and it was never a expected thing. I think that's where I had a really beautiful experience around it because Dad lifted his weight, the boys would clean up after dinner. Like it was a whole thing, right? So I came up in like a really, really beautiful upbringing in that sense. Then coming into meeting Cruz, since the day I met him, I have been cooking food, I've been cleaning, I've been making little treats, leaving little notes around, not because he said, you need to be this person, but because it's just who I am.
Well, I think like the right partner brings out that side in you.
Who you actually want to be. And what I always say is, if you don't want to do that, amazing, but I want to do that, right? Yeah. Then I think what happened was I came into obviously Korea and like a lot of competition subconsciously with Cruz because it was like I'd almost decided because of social media and just opinions and, you know, obviously women coming into a lot more opportunity, which is amazing. I'll never say that's not amazing. But it's like I then came into this subconscious belief. Boss babe culture of like then going like associating being dependent on a partner as incapable. Yeah. So then coming into a relationship, not depending on Cruz for things that he wanted to do for us and then me not allowing him to depend on me for things and always being like, you can do it yourself. And like, it was this very reactive energy from me because I had moved away from what I genuinely believe about dynamics and marriage and into this thing of one or the other, not one and the other. Yeah. And so I was like, career and this and I can do this and I can show you this and I can do better and like just very like weird energy. I then found Savannah online like last year and she just made every thought that I've ever had make sense. Yeah. You know, and you just find someone you go, I have thought this way, but I could never make sense of my thoughts.
Yeah, they articulate it perfectly.
Yeah, and just so much permission around, you know, and obviously in this day and age we are so lucky because I can be very successful from home. Yeah. I can work online from home, meaning I can then do all the things that I want to do for Cruz from home. Yeah. And I want to be a traditional wife in that sense where we're on the same page. When we have kids, I'm at home. Yeah. And he works. He gets up at 3 a.m. to go to the gym, goes to work for 12 hours, comes home. And if I'm going to make, I'm going to make dinner.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, you're out there hustling. You know? Yeah, so he's a hard worker.
He's a hard worker. Sure, yeah. And, you know, I don't know if that answers your question because in so many different ways, but I just think if it comes to choice, that is my choice. I want to be at home and I want to be traditional and I want to be the housewife. And in the same breath, I want to be so successful, but that never take away from my home and from the peace in my home and from the experience of life my kids get as a result of the home that I make for them and that Cruz makes for them together because he's working for our family. Yeah. I'm then of the belief that a woman's role in that sense is to amplify the ability of a partner to then come together. So it's not like he's this and I'm this. It's we are working towards this. And so in marriage and in a union, what we vow to do is take care of each other in the way that works for our dynamic. Yeah. And that is what works for our dynamic.
That was so perfectly, like you need to clip that and put that on your YouTube or something like that. Like just that one little section of like, this is my belief because I think that was like really well spoken and I no notes. I love what you said where you were like, it's not like a this or that. It's like this and that. Like, you know, I think that is really good to just see someone like fully owning it because it is so scary to say things like that online, especially with like the world, the way that the world is, and you can't say that you like a feather without someone saying, but what about the rock over there? Yeah. You know? So I love that. And I have honestly just loved seeing you like come more into yourself on social media. Like I think you like wobbled for a little bit, but like you're back. And I never felt like it never felt like you weren't yourself or anything, but like you can tell now you're more you, I don't know, like just more expressed, happier, like more light. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I think you can just tell when someone's meant to do something and when they're not. And I think it was a good run for you. But like you're doing what you're meant to be doing now. It was like a little moment.
It was
in
like
time.
a blip. I know.
Yeah.
I think like it needed to happen, and I never regret it.
But you
I
were
loved what
great
I was
at
doing.
it
Yeah,
as well.
and I
Like,
loved
yeah,
what
it
I
wasn't
did.
bad.
No,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I can always give myself that of like it was always in integrity of what I wanted to give to other people. Yeah, fully.
Yeah.
And I just think though the people in my life are so patient because I'm like, Mom, my brothers, Cruz, like they would have just been like, who is this?
What is
But
this
they
bitch doing?
never like said anything until I figured it out. And then in hindsight, I'm like, that was just not me.
Yeah.
And it was a season. And now I believe I still get to do what I set out to do then, but in a completely different way. It's just like,
yeah, the through line's the same. You're just like delivering that in a different way.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so much more we could save it.
That's so cool. I love this so much. Is there any piece of wisdom and advice? Obviously, you've had like fucking ups, downs, lefts, rights, centers. Like any piece of advice that you would give someone who is feeling like they're in the sticky middle of life, like not knowing, they haven't quite got it figured out. They feel like they're being pulled a few different directions. Like maybe they're down in the fucking dumps right now and they're like, holy shit, I have to take a huge step back to take a step forward. What would your like best piece of advice that you wish you would have had someone say to you, or maybe someone did say it to you? What would you say to younger you?
I would, oh gosh, so much stuff. I would say no decision is permanent for the most part.
Love
like
that.
a lot of decisions in life are, but like a lot also aren't.
Yeah.
And for the things that we're often in our head about, they are never permanent decisions.
Yeah.
And so I always just said, you know what? Even moving here, right? Cruz and I said to him, what I need to know is that if 2 months in we hate it, we can go back.
Yeah.
So it's like giving yourself that of not giving yourself a plan B, but just giving yourself the security that you need to know that if you ever needed to change your mind, knowing that you're not going to do it from a point of you got scared and then you dipped back out, but more so like if it comes to the point of me going, no, wrong decision, I can change my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make that mean anything about me. That is just the biggest blessing in life. And not needing to give context. I'm just like, change your mind tomorrow. And then, you know what? I might disagree with what I said tomorrow about what I said today.
Yeah. You'd be like, yeah, I don't really agree with that.
By the time the podcast comes out, I'm like, no, not that, not that version of myself anymore. Yeah. But you know, it's like that's life.
Yeah,
and no one
literally.
cares more than you.
Yeah.
And we just can get so like not obsessed, but you just like think people think as deeply about yourself and your decisions as you do. They just don't.
Yeah.
Like, what's the last reel you saw online? What's the last photo you liked?
No idea.
No,
literally
fucking
no idea.
I have no idea.
Probably my own.
Like,
but like
my own
no
stories.
idea. I watch my own stories for the 5th time.
Nobody gives
Yeah,
a shit.
literally, no one cares. It's so funny. Clients are always like, "Oh, but I said that 2 days ago." I'm like, "No one watches you every day.
No one.
I'm sorry, I love you, but like, no one's there every day saying, "Oh, but she posted that 2 days ago." It's like people have their lives. They're gonna dip in and like see you, and they're gonna love you, and they're gonna be obsessed with you, but they're more obsessed with their own life. Or they should be.
Forever. Yeah.
So like, you know, it's like, yeah. What's your advice for someone growing a personal brand? Like just the most like raw, broad fucking advice you could give someone.
Stop just trying to be the influencer that you think you need to be to like grow a personal brand. And I just say that loosely because it could be the podcast, it could be the whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, as long as you are trying to post and create and show up as someone who you think you need to be to make it because they've quote unquote made it, you will never. Because you think, I always think about this to anyone who is like currently successful online, whatever that means, they started their personal brand because they had a hobby for making overnight oats with 2 followers and they thought, I'm just going to post these overnight oats one day. And then they started going to the gym, posted that, and then they did this. And they were just sharing their life because they have a passion for sharing their life. Whereas now I think the issue comes in where people see the outcome and they think that they can do something now to get that outcome tomorrow. But if you're doing it to get the outcome, I just don't think you should do it lovingly. Like
I literally said that to
1,000%.
Alex this morning. We were talking about something.
Yeah.
And I said that. I was like, it's because people do it for the outcome.
To get something.
They never fucking get it.
Exactly. Because like right now, I'm like, I have goals for my YouTube. I have goals for my personal brand. There's stuff that I want from it. But I also know if that never happened, I would still want to be doing what I'm doing with my personal brand. So it's like, just be so fucking real. Like, be yourself in the most like chaotic, unfiltered, messy way. If you have a thought, post it. Like, don't try and copy that way of editing or that way of showing up. Don't look to people who have established a 200K following who post once a week and then you post once a week. It's not the same. You have to put in the reps. And I always say, if you cannot be comfortable with posting for 3 years straight, getting zero anything from it, even a fucking follower, don't do it. Sorry.
Because it's such a fucking emotional ride otherwise.
Oh my gosh.
And you attach all of your self-worth to it. But like, I feel like that's where you and I were like super fucking blessed to be like OGs of like posting content. Essentially, like, I'm assuming you were on there when Instagram first started. Roughly?
I think I got it in like year 12 for like yourself. And then I started posting a page of, it was called like Healthy Eats. I didn't want anyone to know it was me.
I was Tay's Clean Eats Treats. Like, what the fuck?
And 2016. So I'm like 10 years, guys. And I'm just still I've just started. You know, like literally. 10 years.
And I think that, people come in, they see the potential, which is amazing. There's so much potential. Like, I would recommend everyone grow a personal brand if that's the way that they want to go with their life, because it can lead to so many amazing opportunities. But like, I would say, like, don't get caged into like that thing being the thing. People think they want brand deals and then they only just go like, they pigeonhole themselves. It's like, there could be so many other ways that your personal brand could benefit you.
1,000%.
But like, if you get caught in like, I'm only a coach, or I'm only doing brand deals, or I'm only allowed to post motivational quotes, like, you get so caged. Like, don't let yourself do that.
No. And realize that anyone that looks like they've got it easy in terms of being able to show up, talk in their stories, just know that they had their first day too.
We used to use Snapchat filters
with the
like
dog.
The fucking dog. Like, every time we would talk, it was like
the tongue. Exactly.
Like,
to get
come
through.
on, we had to like go with that.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, my first talking story, I remember I had that like fuzzy filter with like the little dots flying around the screen. It was kind of blue. And I was like, hey guys, I just like cannot take myself seriously right now. Like, this is so embarrassing. Like, I said that.
Do you know the one with the eyes and the big mouth? I used to use that every day. Every day.
I mean, okay, so the guy's like, it's when people compared like 16-year-olds now to like me at 16. And I was just like so chronic.
It's so unfair.
Yeah. I'm like, so you guys have got it good. Okay. So just like, just trust me. Just start.
Shut the fuck up.
Just start. Post it. Get off your phone. Go live your life.
Yeah, literally. I reckon. And like, another good piece of advice that we've said throughout this is like, live your life. The content is the extension.
Fully.
Don't make your whole life content.
Yeah. And content comes so easily when you live your life. I promise you.
Yes.
I've even noticed that recently with the busier I've gotten, not in like an avoidant way, but in I'm doing things that are so fulfilling. So I start the podcast, start YouTube, all of that. I don't get anything from any of that. But it just gives me life. It takes so fucking long to edit a YouTube. I don't think people understand that. Right? For 10 minutes. But I love it, right? So naturally I'm busier. So I've got more to talk about. I've got more to film. I'm doing more. I'm inspired because I'm having conversations, and you walk away going, yeah, cool, I'll say that. Versus if you're just sitting there like, what do I post? Of course you're going to have nothing to post. Of course you're not
inspired. Yeah, you got to follow like that spark. And I think that's the same with me. Like, I am not getting anything from this podcast except I get to be in person, have conversations that light me up. If this helps one other person, great. But like, it helped me.
Fully.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I just liked that. I enjoyed it. And that's why I'm doing it. And it's costing me a lot of fucking money. And I'm like, like, I'm willing to do that because it's fun for me. And yeah, the bonus, it gives me content. Like, that's great. But yeah, I noticed that the other day. I think it was like, I don't know when, a day ago, 2 days ago, you put up your photo dump and I was like, fuck, she's got a lot of shit in there. Like, this bitch has been doing a lot of things. And I'm just like, I need to do more things. I was like, yeah, but I live in Toowoomba. There's nothing in Toowoomba. But yeah, I'm like, I can't wait till I travel to Europe. So I'm like, I'm like, how do I post while I'm over there? I'm a business. And I'm like, no, Taylor.
You're
like,
living life.
Fuck that.
No.
Just like post whatever the fuck you want.
No shit.
So, yeah, I love this. Okay, let's wrap it up because I don't know the time, but like I feel like we have definitely gone over. Jackson's out there like, throw the fuck up.
You're on the clock right now.
Okay, so wrap it up for us. Where can everyone find you? How can they connect with you? Do you have anything coming up that you would like them to know about? Podcast.
Thank you.
Go for it.
I do have a podcast launching on, when's this episode coming out?
When is your podcast coming?
The 1st of March.
This will come out after, so it'll be out. So go listen.
Okay, yeah. So it's called Talk Therapy. I haven't released the name yet. But
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's called
I
Talk
love
Therapy. Basically, the vibe of like talking is therapy.
Yeah.
It's not clinical, but it's just like
so clever.
Yeah, thank you. So 1st of March, so you can listen to me yap there if you want.
Are you doing guests or by yourself?
I'll do guests. I want to establish like me first to just get the reps in learning how to talk to myself. You know, and then when I'm like running out of things, like
you're like, okay, let's bring someone in.
So I'll do guests definitely. If you want to come on.
Oh, fuck
yeah, okay, cool. And
you heard it here. She can't take it back.
Yeah, locked in. And then YouTube, Christina Harvey, Instagram, same. Don't really do TikTok, so don't look there. A few random things over there.
You kind of do
every now and then. I just can't be bothered. And that's basically it, I think.
And do you encourage people to like come into your DMs?
Please. There is nothing I love more. I think people think that you don't.
That we don't want it. We're
I'm
like, no, do it.
And if you think something random, tell me.
Yeah, tell me if something I get people sending me like random like screen blasts in like their grocery store and they'll just like send it to me and be like, I thought of you. And I'm like, I love this.
Please, like, please tell me.
Yeah.
I love nothing more. So slide into my DMs. I always like to chat, like, and actually chat. You know when people say that and they don't respond?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, please.
Like, I talk back.
I want some friends. And yeah, I'm a big talker. That's basically it. Follow my YouTube. I feel like YouTube's, if you want to get to know anything, like YouTube's the place because it's just, we can hang out longer, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Go hang with her. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast. This has been so fun. I'm sure we'll probably do another one because I feel like we could just keep talking. So thank you for coming on. Tag us, share it, put us on your stories. Come and DM us. Tell us what you liked about the episode. I know this is going to be so helpful for a lot of people out there. Christina has so much wisdom. She's a comfort creator. Go and follow her. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for having me.